My name is Jason Soares. Welcome to DaBestBulls Ranch, and today I'm going to go over my whole backstory, show you a little about talk about a little bit of my life, and you're going to learn a little bit more about me. I'm going to be going over everything as far as my childhood and my upbringing. It's going to tie into how I am and why I am the way I am today, and then on top of that, how I used to be a professional fighter and how that made me great for the job that I'm doing right now. And I say it's a job, but it's a lifestyle. And then on top of my backstory, my full backstory, I'm gonna go into the move where we now are where we are, from going to Miami to Daytona and getting all the dogs up here, the cages up here, and making sure everyone's safe. And it was just a crazy experience, but it's funny now that it's all done. Hi, my name is Jason Soares, and welcome to DaBestBulls Ranch. So it's pretty funny and ironic and amazing at the same time, but it's almost like I've been groomed to do this job my whole life. Like starting from when I was a little kid, a baby, I've had English Bulldogs, and obviously I have them now, so it's something I've been around my whole life. I was raised by my mom and only my mom. I'm the middle child. I have an older brother and a younger sister, and my whole life my mom has loved animals. She's been a crazy animal person. I've lived in upstate New York, pretty much on farm, and then we moved to the Keys, and I still lived on a little farm because my whole life my mom has had a ton of animals, lots of dogs, exotic animals. In upstate New York where we used to live, she had a license to people would bring her like wild animals that she would rehabilitate. So even when I was a little kid, I've had like raccoons. When I was 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, all those years, I was helping my mom whelp deer, whelp raccoons, whelp birds, puppies, everything. So it's something I've been around my whole life. It's not like I sort of came into it. And I just growing up with my mom and her being an animal lover, I became an animal lover, and then I learned how to do all these things just by, I see my mommy doing this, I'm like, oh, what's mommy doing? I want to help her. So I learned how to do all these things. And then I sort of got out of it because I grew up, I got older, I wanted to become a professional fighter, and I did that for a long time. And due to some unfortunate circumstances, some injuries, some politics, I'm retired now. And I fought professionally from 2012 to 2020, I believe, 8 years, and I trained ever since. I wrestled in high school, and I wrestled in high school specifically because I wanted to be a professional fighter. And my whole life, every time I make a decision, I like go all in. So like, I did it since I was a little kid, and I started training MMA 24/7 in 2008, as soon as I graduated high school. And I had a really good career. I finished 14-0 with 12 finishes. I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt. I did a lot, and I did it full time. Like I didn't work or anything. I was my coach, Marcos Avalon, who's also like a father figure to me, my mentor, and he taught me so much. Groomed me about business and everything. So that sort of helped me to where I am today. And then from there, I trained nonstop to be a professional fighter. And I was, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, I was one of the best 145ers in the world at that time. But because of politics, because of injuries, I got out of it, and it just was not being fair to me. I'm putting so much time and effort, and I'm not getting the rewards I deserve, the money, the benefits that a lot of other people are getting that are a lot lesser than me, I thought. So I retired, and I had a kid, and I just didn't want to be hurt for my kid anymore, for Leah. So all those things compounded, and then the dogs doing so well, and wanting to give more attention to the dogs and do all that, they compounded me into me retiring, and it just wasn't for me, And I'm a super devoted person. Anytime I decide I'm going to do something, I go all in, and all my energy is focused towards it. So it was all focused towards MMA, and now with MMA out of the picture and not doing MMA stuff, all my energy is focused towards the dogs, and I literally eat, sleep, and dream about dogs, as far as like making the facility better for them, making the program better, doing this for them, doing everything for them. And that's how I am. I'm a very obsessive person, and obsessive is great if you can control it. And throughout, learning discipline, martial arts, which is, I recommend everyone do martial arts. It just teaches you so much discipline. That discipline right there is transferred over into my dog life, and the dog life is honestly, in my opinion, more stressful because in fighting, yeah, I'm gonna fight tomorrow, but I can control it. I know it's up to me, you know? In a dog life, your dog's sick, you're not sure if it's okay. It's just, there's so much stress behind it, with pregnancy and everything. But that being said, it's also a lot easier, you know, like in MMA, I'm training 4, 6, 8 hours, every single day. Very, very mentally taxing, cutting weight, doing those things, a lot different. And as far as the dog life, I mean, like staying up all night, taking care of puppies and making sure they're perfect instead of sleeping an extra 4 hours, risking it. That's easy. I would stay up all night, you know, like mentally, the MMA game, my upbringing, and my being a professional athlete has made me super strong and has molded me to this, as well as compounded with my mom, being an animal lover and growing up with that. It's just perfect, you know. And what a lot of people don't know is me and my mom are partners in this, and she's just not seen as much. She's actually moving up here, and my mom has taught me, you know, 80% of what I know of dogs, and then the other 80% is because she taught me, and then I went out and researched. So she taught me a lot. We do this together. It's our thing. We started back in 2018, I believe we started this. Yeah, 2018 we started this, and like everything I do, 2018, even though I was still fighting, I got super involved in the dogs, and I went pretty all in. But now I'm crazy all in because you see the facility I have and the property I bought strictly for the ranch. So just everything that's happened has just made me into who I am today, and it's in my opinion, made me perfect for running the DaBestBulls Ranch. You know, I have the animal knowledge, I have the dog knowledge. It takes a lot of mental strength and discipline because there's bad things that happen. You know, it's not if a bad thing's gonna happen when you're dealing with animals. It's about when. It's about minimizing that, and then it's about being able to bounce back. You know, there's bad things are gonna happen in everything. You know, like people think you see Amazon and it's an amazing business making billions, trillions of dollars, and you think that Jeff Bezos didn't have problems, the owner of Amazon didn't have problems coming up. He had tons of problems, and you know, for him, he's mentally strong enough and tough enough to get through it, bounce through those problems, those hurdles, and be where he is today. And as a you know, the DaBestBulls Ranch owner, that's what I have to do. You know, I've had heartaches. It's even worse in my opinion because it's not like just straight. It's not like I lost like 50K. It's like I lost the dog that I love, you know? And that's horrible. That sucks, and that takes a lot of mental strength to get through and deal with. It makes you sort of, you know, sometimes, you know, you want to quit. I never really think about quitting, but I know some people think about it. The obsession, the attention to detail is a huge pro if it's controlled, and I've been able to manage and control it and stay disciplined. It has everything to do with my upbringing, my life, and I think that so much. I appreciate everything that's going on in my life. I'm in a place now that I'm very, very, very happy with my dogs, my family, my social life, my dog life, everything. I owe a huge portion of it to the dog, to Escobar. Escobar is the start of everything, and that's why I put all my dogs first, you know, because I owe a lot to them, and I make sure I transfer that, and they know that, and I make sure they're treated well and they live well. So why I started, or better yet, why we started, me and my mom, the bulldog thing is I had a bulldog, and she got old. Her name was, her name was Sarah. It's actually funny. My girlfriend's name is Sarah, and she died at 13 years old. And then I came home I was living in Miami, and I came home one day, and she had a dog there. Her name was Buddha. And then I took Buddha, and I saw her one weekend, and then I came back next weekend. She was still there, but she adopted Buddha, and Buddha loved me. And I'm like, you know, I'm taking Buddha. So I got back into bulldogs because I didn't really want a bulldog then because my dog died. I was still upset about it. And then shortly after that, my mom would always message me like pretty bulldogs, like the Merle English bulldogs, and she would show me them, and I was like, yo, that's really nice. I really want one, but I didn't really want one. I didn't want to spend the money. And then one day, my mom showed me a picture of the dog I have now, Kimura, and it's a blue-tried Merle, and I'm like, oh, that's really nice, and I was like, well, we should get her. I'm like, how much is she? And at that time, she was $6,500. This was in 2018, and I'm like, no, it's too much money. I'm not spending $6,500 on a dog. And she's like, well, we can breed her and make back the money and all this stuff, and you can have the dog that you always wanted, and you have fun with the puppies and everything. And my mom talked me into it, so I got Kimura. And then, long story short, within 6 months, I had probably 4 or 5 other dogs, and I was getting, you know, like I said, I'm very obsessive. And once again, it's something I want to do it to the best. So I got into the bulldogs, and And Kimura actually is an amazing dog. And at that time, or even to this day, she's not the exact structure we want and we're looking for in the Best Bulls program, but she's been a very good asset because she's extremely healthy, extremely agile, good breathing, amazing tempered, smart dog. So that being said, she adds value to the program. She's not as thick and as compact and as small as Escobar, but bred to Escobar, she's gonna produce a better version of Escobar as far as health-wise goes, and then we're still gonna have the Escobar. So I know people only like look at, or a lot of people only look at, oh, I need this best looking, like this dog here, but if both dogs are great structured, but both dogs aren't good healthy, and you're not improving the breed in that sense, you're not doing good, and then you're not getting good puppies out of it, most likely, you know what I mean? So there's a fine line in matching up dogs, and there should always be health, temperament, and structure brought into play every single time, not just structure brought into play. Two dogs are great structured, but bad health-wise. That shouldn't be the play. But always been our dream. We talked about, hey, it's gonna be super cool when we get our own facility. That's our goal, you know. But it seemed like, honestly, it's like a dream. It's like when you I know you say it and stuff like that, but this is better than what we even thought it would be. We have a huge facility. We're building everything nice, done right, with the drainage systems, with good for the dogs, healthy, clean, safe, all that stuff. And it's just a dream come true. That's what we, in about 2019, once we had a bunch, some good amount of bulldogs, we're like, man, we need our own facility so we can keep everything good. And 2022, February, I think like February 8th we closed, the facility came to fruition, and now we have what we have, and it's a dream come true. So moving the Best Bulls camp into the DaBestBulls Ranch was a crazy experience. So now after the fact, it's funny and it's good to think about, but during it was crazy. I mean, it involved, moving our whole life in Miami, me and Sarah's whole life, and the baby up to a new place here in Daytona. And then on top of that, we're talking about moving all the dogs. And me and my mom being partners in this situation, I had dogs at my place, in my house. Escobar and Kimura are excited about leaving. We are definitely getting an upgrade right now. Definitely upgrade. This is the old DaBestBulls kennel and facility. I mean, obviously we had the one in the Keys, but now we will be upgrading. And then she had dogs at her facility. She has her own facility as well too. It was about moving all of them to the DaBestBulls Ranch. So it's moving trucks, packing all that stuff together, putting all the cages in there. We're talking about, we had multiple cars. I had our car with the baby and dogs. I had Sarah's mom's car. Sarah's dad came to help us move. My mom going to
ready to go.
Going to make sure everyone's good, no one's fighting. Good job, guys. Hey, no.
A little odd man out.
And I don't know what that is. We don't mess with stuff like that, but Leah loves that.
That's my little
Bye, mommy. See you there. Love you. With a van full of dogs, and then setting everything up here in the middle of the night, showing up at 1 a.m., unloading dogs, making sure they're cool, making sure they have food, making sure they have water. It was craziness. And then we're talking about, we moved to a house, that we have to set up the whole house for our family, me and Sarah and the baby, and then we're setting up the dogs at the same time, so it's quadruple the work of a normal move, and we're moving into the DaBestBulls facility, but it was a shell. It had nothing. Like literally the day we closed on the facility, I had already scheduled the people for the foam to come, and I already had scheduled the next day the people for the AC to come. So at least that big facility was AC'd and ready for the dogs, so we could put the pens in there to start everything off. And it's a funny story. We actually had the police called on us because I think like $5,000 of the money for the house was not received on the wire yet, even though it was received and we had everything, paperwork signed. And the realtor of the sellers came and saw us here and said, I'm gonna call the police if they don't leave, even though we had legal rights to be here. It's called like the mailbox law or something like that. Anyway, it was stupid, and she was calling the police, and I told her to call the police ever because I need the foam installed, and the foam guys are not gonna leave. But that craziness happened, and then we had the AC people come, and it was funny now, but it was a lot of stuff to deal with as far as moving a bunch of live animals, making sure everyone's safe. And if you know me, or you guys that are getting to know me now, that I'm insanely crazy about anything going wrong and dogs being okay and thinking about situations and stuff like that. Just for example, like I was thinking about when we're driving, we all have to stay together because what we're driving and my mom's car breaks down and she's on the side of the road in the heat and all dogs overheat, you know? So that's something that most people don't think about, but it's just, I always try to think 10 steps ahead of any bad situation, you know? I'm not a negative person, but at the same time, I like to always think of the bad situation so I can always cover that situation and we can make sure we don't have any bad situations. So moving for a person like me was very stressful, but it went super smooth. We got it all done. We got all the dogs here, and now 3 months later, DaBestBulls Ranch is going great. Thank you for watching DaBestBulls Ranch episode. I hope you enjoyed watching about our moving process, my about me, the upbringing, and how I became who I am for DaBestBulls Ranch. And if you like what you saw, make sure you're subscribed below, click the bell, follow us on Instagram at DaBestBulls Ranch, follow us on TikTok at DaBestBulls, and you can always email me, DaBestBulls@gmail.com. I really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you so much. And if you have any comments, comment below, hit me up on any platform, and don't forget to like.